American Idol, they asked us to sum up our life goals, and I said I wanted to be a loving father and a faithful husband and a servant of all. And I think the servant of all, that's the main one, and I think that's what we're called to be. And it's to give our life for God, to give our life for those around us, to give our life for the good fight. My name is Jason Castro, and I'm second.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phalen, a weekly program here on 90.9 FM WFCO, and also at Time Warner Channel 9, LSN, right here in Lancaster, a program that we have weekly where we interview guests from within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office and also out throughout the community. And this week, back by popular demand, is Loretta Phalen, and my wife and soulmate and all those good things, and she has agreed to come in this week and talk a little bit about Grace Haven Place. She was here last week, told a little bit about the ministry. So welcome, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2012 is upon us, and we're going to be having in the next few weeks, kind of a year in review, things that happened during the last year within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office, some of our major investigations, some of the things that made news throughout Central Ohio, and so make sure you tune in to that program, because that's going to be a good program. We're going to have Lieutenant Vores here. We're going to be talking about the scrap team we had last summer that made 82 drug-related arrests in about 2 months. We're going to be talking about probably the most famous case was the underwear that was thrown all over a farm, 1,600 pair of underwear that we found on a farm, and kind of how that made some national news, and just a lot of things happened within 12 months, and you just never know what the year's going to bring.
Yeah, if only they were as light as the underwear.
If only they were as light as the underwear situation, everything would be good, and but that's not always the case, and that's not the business that the sheriff's office is in. We're involved in helping people, putting people in jail, housing a jail, having a civil division, and those things we're going to have next year. Talk a little bit about different areas within the sheriff's office, whether it's the detective bureau, the civil division, our jail, our road division. So we're going to have a great year. Do appreciate the folks here at Fairfield Christian Academy with the media class that puts this program on each and every week. To get started, Loretta, let's review just a little bit, because we may have not had the same group of viewers or listeners last week that we have today. So tell us briefly, what is Grace Haven Place?
Well, Grace Haven Place is a place for young women, or even some older women who have had problems with addiction. Probably 99% have problems with addiction, to come and try to start a new life and to learn maybe some life skills and ways to walk with the Lord. And
typically, they get out of jail, and this is a place for them, a safe home.
Right.
For them. What's the average length of stay?
Well, the average length is 4 months. We have some that don't make it the first week,
right,
unfortunately, and then we have some that stay up to a year. So it's interesting, and usually those that leave that are successful, they get their own apartments through like vouchers, and they get jobs, and many have gotten their children back, which is just an amazing thing. The kids want to be with their parents, and and then sometimes we have to give them a little shove out of the nest, so they right, will go ahead and get started. So it depends. It really depends on the girl, their situation. Every single one is different. We adjust, and we move, and we have to be flexible. So,
what's the main drug of choice that you see where the girls are addicted to?
It's opiates, heroin. And,
Okay.
and of course, our community and most communities around, I think, is dealing with this. And, you know, it's not the average drug addict. It's people that from all families are affected by this opiate situation, as you know.
Right.
And you know, we are here. I have a real passion that the people are here, they're hurting, and it's every person's responsibility to do something to
Right.
help with this. It's a killer.
And you went to a program called Operation Street Smart.
Street Smart, yes.
We put on by the Franklin County Sheriff's Department.
Yes.
And that was really an eye-opener, wasn't it? Even for you that have been involved in this for years.
I would suggest anyone with any parents, anyone would attend that if they have that again, and that was put
I think
on.
they're going to bring that back.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have another program. We'll make sure that as we get closer to that program, we'll do some publicity on it, especially on this program.
Yeah, and that was put on by the Tour de Cause money that was raised through that. So, you know, that's another individual there really making a difference.
Yeah, and Ron Burris and the folks over there.
Mm-hmm, right.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we kind of say, this problem is so overwhelming, so problematic, so difficult that you almost want to throw up your hands and say, I don't know what anybody can do. But I think that when you look at Grace Haven, when you look at what Ron did, when you look at the Recovery Center, when you look what the Major Crimes Unit, the Lancaster Police Department, the Sheriff's Office, Baltimore, Pickerington, it's everybody doing something,
bit, right.
a little bit.
Part.
It's going to really kind of turn the corner on this problem.
Well, you save lives. You know, that's what it comes down to. You save lives, you save families. You know, of course, the Lord does that, but
Right.
but He uses us to do that. So.
Now, the physical structure of Grace Haven, you have a home?
Yes.
You have a house?
We have a home.
And why don't you kind of tell us how that's a fascinating story in and of itself, how this home was found, how it was kind of like deteriorated, how there wasn't anyone that had lived there for a period of time, and kind of tell us how that evolved.
Well, of course, Grace Haven is funded by private donations, and we have had a few grants, which has just been such a blessing. But we have to watch our money, and you
Right.
know, we have monthly expenses, and we were renting, and basically there was only a bathroom and a half in the house we were renting, and with 5 women in a house. That's not enough. So at Thanksgiving, I mentioned to our family, I said, boy, I would love to have a house that has 2 bathrooms. And my daughter-in-law actually the next day or two said, you know, I looked online and I found this house for very, very inexpensive with 2 bathrooms. Of course, we went to look at it, and
Right.
it wasn't livable, but it was affordable. So
Right.
we were able to purchase that house, and with the help of so many volunteers and so many donations, we're able to fix it up for about $2,000. So,
And I'll never, that was quite an undertaking of love. On a Saturday, there would be, all these volunteers would show up.
From
There
all
would-
different churches.
Drywall people, painters, handymen, you name it would be
Yes,
there. And then another individual donated all the flooring and carpeting
right, and someone donated
out
this.
in Millersport.
Right, brand new stove and refrigerator, and
Yeah.
So now it's
Dave Miller and those
Dave
folks.
Miller, yeah, and Good Housekeeping. So you know, now it's a lovely place to live.
It's very nice.
Yeah,
In fact, it's
is.
probably one of the nicest places in the neighborhood.
Right, well, our house mom is a gardener, so she makes sure that it looks beautiful, and it's a nice place, and it's quiet, and it's a place to go and pray and feel close to the Lord, I think.
And I will never forget this, because it's amazing how God works in mighty ways. The morning that we were actually moving from the rental property into the new house, we woke up and it was a rainy morning. It was not nice out. It was just like, wow. And so I remember saying to Loretta, I don't know how many people are going to come out on a day like this. I think it was a Saturday maybe, on a day like this where the weather is so bad, to be moving furniture, and this is people's days off, and wow, who would ever want to do this? And so we drive over to the house, and we were absolutely amazed, because up and down the street were trucks, were vans, all these people, a lot of area churches involved.
Right. They even climbed up on the roof to get some furniture out and drug it down through the ceiling.
They just
it was amazing.
And within about 2 hours, we were completely moved into the new house.
And unpacked. So, in fact, Fairfield Christian Academy helped a lot that day, too, some of the kids.
They sure did. And the Methodist Church, First United Methodist, or United Methodist.
Yeah.
And so a lot of churches.
Yes.
How many churches are actually involved in the ministry?
Oh, I've never counted.
Lots, though.
Yeah, lots. There's it's a community thing, and you know, that's the body of Christ. That's what we're supposed to do.
Now,
is work together.
We mentioned last week that coming up this month, you have a yearly fundraiser.
Yes.
And well, before we get to that, typically how is Grace Haven funded?
Well, it's funded by individuals who have a heart for hurting people. We have had a few grants and some community organizations and churches and things like that. So it's just funded through the grace of God by people who are listening and feel called to do this ministry.
And I think really what's really nice about Grace Haven Ministry, and I know there's a lot of great charitable organizations out there that do a great job, but they have always a certain amount for administrative costs. You'll see this, and so if you have a place that maybe has 90% of what you give goes to the actual ministry, they have 10% to administrative costs, and some of them, frankly, are higher than that. Mm-hmm. But with Grace Haven, because it's all volunteers, 100%, 100% of your money goes directly to help these girls learn about the Lord, learn about Jesus, and get off addiction.
Right.
Get a new start for them in their lives.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I remember, actually, it was last Christmas Eve, as we were coming home from our daughter's house. Tell us that story. That really touched my heart. That
Well, I got a call from a young lady who I hadn't talked to for a year, and she had done well. She had moved out, and she had her own place and everything, and then all of a sudden she was missing in action. I didn't see her, and so then a year later is when I got the phone call, and she just said, I wanted to call you at Christmas and tell you that Grace Haven made all the difference in the world to me. And she was now living in Columbus, had a job, she had her children back, and I haven't heard from her since. And that's kind of how it works.
Right.
Once
they come in and out.
Yeah, they come in and out. But that was the best Christmas gift.
And with 50 girls that have gone through, wow, that's got to be tough, kind of remembering all the girls now.
So far, I can seem to remember the girls, but it'll come to a point where I can't.
So. Well, it's just like over the years as an elementary school teacher here, that's kind of been tough too, because you'll see you've gone lots and lots of kids over the years.
Right. It's been a wonderful blessing.
We're almost out of time. Okay. Again, about our fundraiser, and if people want to give to Grace Haven, it's all tax deductible, or they want to become part of the volunteer group.
Okay, well, our fundraiser is that was last year, a spaghetti cook-off, but it's actually a spaghetti dinner. If you want to put your favorite sauce in, we do have first, second, and third prizes for it, but just come and eat spaghetti and salad, and Bob Evans is donating the garlic bread and dessert, and it's from 6 to 8 at the River Valley Life Center, and that's on Coon Path Road, and it's known as the Barn. Pastor Paul and Paula Bishop, they're very supportive of Grace Haven Ministry. It's on January 28th, and like I said, from 6 to 8, and it's $8 per person, $15 for a family. You can't feed a family for that anywhere. We are accepting donations for a silent auction, because there will be a silent auction. That's always great fun. And of course, you can contact me off of my website, www.gracehavenfairfield.com, or call my cell phone number, 740-808-6255, 740-808-6255, or just show up. Just show up.
Special guest this week, Loretta Phalen with Grace Haven Place. The clock on the wall says we've got to go. Until next week, same time, same place. This is yours truly, Sheriff Dave Phalen. God bless, and we'll see you right here next week.
office.
We have a warrant for your arrest.
Back door! Back door!
Deputy Thompson has now survived his rookie year.
Guess that means you can start using real bullets now.
When you get married, have some kids, you're gonna figure out real quick how much you don't know.
You missed Emily's piano recital.
Can I talk to you?
Can I suggest that you spend a little more time with him?
All he wants to do is play video games or go run 5 miles.
What are you doing home?
They let me go. Do you really feel like it messed up your childhood not having a dad? More than you know.
Adam, I need you to come with me right now.
Man, if it wasn't for my family, I'd be in a tailspin right now.
You do heal, but you're never the same. I want to know what God expects of me.
I've been doing about half of what I should have been doing as a dad.
You're being too hard on yourself.
Revolution? Yeah. You've been a good enough father. I don't want to be a good enough father.
Can I say this too? I don't feel like I started well. I want to finish well.
If you're gonna do this, then do it right. Something like this needs ceremony.
I feel like a rich man. As your father, I want the very best for you. I promise to take care of you.
So where are you, men of courage? I believe every father should step up and answer the call. And to say, I will.